disease, in my understanding, is conditions in your body that compromise the function of the heart. So there's different ways that happens. There could be something that you're born with, which is congenital. And so, like a friend of mine, her son was born without one of the heart valves. So he's considered he has heart disease. They had to put in a replacement heart valve. Some people have buildup in their blood systems that cause plaque or things like that, which cause heart disease because the blood can't flow properly through there. Other people have lung problems that cause fluid to build up in the heart. My father had a condition where his heart wall kept thickening and growing, and so by a certain time his heart couldn't pump anymore because it was too thick to pump on its own. And smoking is a very big factor in causing heart disease, because that toxin that's in your body gets absorbed into your blood system, and it then creates problems for your heart. Eating foods that have a lot of fat in them can cause fat to build up in your veins and your arteries, and the blood can't flow through that. That's one of the very common U.S. problems. And then there are illnesses that can contribute to it, like people who have lung problems and their lungs aren't functioning. They're not able to breathe properly and have the blood flow properly through the heart. The symptoms for heart disease are different for men and for women. Women are at the highest risk for death from heart disease because their symptoms they know as the male symptoms, which is often tingling in the left arm, hard time breathing. People think of a hard time breathing on the left side of their chest because that's where their heart is, but it can often be in the center or on the right side. And fatigue, but those are really male symptoms. And so women tend to be tired. They tend to have more flu-like symptoms, and they don't recognize them as being related to their heart. It is no longer more common in a certain age group. It is now in the U.S., it's thought of as being an older person's condition that you get when you're old, but it can be at any age. Make healthy choices. Make healthy food choices, exercise, eat foods that eat on the outside of the aisles, the outside perimeter, they call it, of the grocery store. So where the fresh foods are, the fresh fruits, the foods you have to cook, the dairy products, those types of things. When you get into the aisles, all that processed food has a lot of extra things that our bodies weren't meant to process out, and they tend to get clogged up in our system. The biggest problem is fat levels and sodium. So sodium is they refer to it as the hidden killer, because people just don't realize how much sodium is in a box of crackers or a packaged soup or a fast food item. And so if you look at the charts for what your daily sodium level is, and then start comparing it to what a serving of something that tastes really yummy, because the sodium makes things taste really yummy, you'll find that you usually have just eaten a whole day's worth, if not more, in that one little serving. and then you imagine how much people don't eat just that serving size. So if it's a half a cup of something and they eat the whole carton instead of half a cup, they've just had a whole week's worth of sodium in their one little treat that they just ate. So
I exercise and I eat healthy. I make my heart healthy. Well, I run a few times a week, and I'm also an Olympic lifter, so I do a lot of weightlifting. And just basically anything to keep me active throughout the day, eating healthy too.
I just have marathons. I watch my diet, and I see my doctor.
I exercise by doing events like this, the START training program. I try to eat a heart healthy diet and get lots of rest, drink lots of water, those kinds of things.
Exercise, eat right.
I feel it's important to keep my heart healthy so that I can live to be 120. That's my plan. Well, because my father had a quadruple bypass surgery when he was in his mid-50s, and my mother died of a heart attack. So I don't want to do any of those things.
One can live life to the fullest and also to have a long life.
It's essential to live a healthy heart. Be able to do what I want to do and live the life that I want to live.
So that I can be present for my family and
Health.
getting up and moving is what helps, because when you get up and move, your system circulates the blood better and helps to push out some of those things that might get built up. Sometimes the build-up items, when you're sedentary, which means when you're just sitting around, your blood isn't pumping very hard, so they kind of find low spots and puddle, and then they just build up. So by moving around, you're increasing your circulation. By moving around, you also are increasing your blood pressure to a proper range, so it's not too high, it's not too low, and so that helps your blood flow properly. But also a lot of times when people get up and move, they just generally live a healthier lifestyle, so they don't eat as much fatty foods, they don't crave them because their body isn't bored. It has good things to be doing with its body, and it craves the good things to help the body fuel itself and be healthier. So we encourage walking, running, moving of any kind, because if you increase your movement, whatever your movement level is, if you increase your movement, you reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke significantly.
Hi, my name is Heather Liu. I am 37, and today I'm running a half marathon with the American Heart Association START training team. I decided to join the START training team because about a year ago, my uncle on my dad's side had a heart attack, and luckily he survived that heart attack. But it particularly hit home because this on my dad's side is the second brother who had serious heart problems. About 4 years ago, one of my youngest uncles, who's 54 at the time, died suddenly and totally unexpectedly of sudden heart failure. So when my second uncle also had a heart attack, it was really a wake-up call for me that this is something that could really impact my life, my family's life, and I just decided it was time to get off the couch and to start getting out in the world and do something that could help benefit not just me, but lots of other women and families and people throughout the United States. So that's why I'm here.
I'm doing this run because 2 years ago, my father had to have heart surgery. And thanks to the American Heart Association and others, he was able to use a new procedure that allowed him to be in the hospital only 7 days instead of 4 weeks. and to have a rehab period of 3 months instead of 12 months. So I'm very grateful for the work that the organization does and wanted to give back.
I've been a coach for the Heart Association's program for 8 or 9 years now, and I became involved because I was a participant in this half marathon training in 2007. And I did it because the doctor wanted me to do more cardio, so I was supposed to run, but I didn't like it. So I tried to find a cause that I could do it for, and my mom suffers from small strokes, and her parents had 2 paralyzing strokes, and my father has heart disease. So I could connect with the cause, and I could commit to doing this activity for the cause, not because it was good for my health, but because I was supporting the cause.
As so many friends and relatives have been touched by heart disease and by stroke, and anything I can do to support that cause is important to me.
Dave Minton, I'm with Team San Mateo, participating with the American Heart Association, the Brazen Nitro Trail Race. Heart health is important to me. I've had 3 members in my family deal with open heart surgery and valve problems, so for me it's really personal, so the more that I can do to help raise money, the better I take care of my family.
I've lost several family members to heart disease, so it touches a personal note, and it's just amazing to be part of an organization that really attaches doing something against the biggest and #1 killer of Americans for the last 90 years. And it looks like this year we're set to dethrone the #1 spot, which is just an incredible feeling to stand with an organization that's doing some really big things and saving lives.
Team San Francisco for the heart training. I lost my sister-in-law to heart health issues, and she very strongly believed in the work that the AHA did and the research and education they provided, and so we really felt that honoring her by continuing her legacy and her work was a very meaningful thing for us.
My name's Andrea Lyman, and basically I'm doing this to kind of support a friend who lost her sister, and I thoroughly enjoy being part of the teams and being active and getting in shape, because I wasn't so much in shape when I started this, so yeah, it's been nice being supportive and getting out there.
A program for weight loss, the Kaiser Weight Loss Program, and one of the things that we did as part of our weight loss program was a walk for American Heart Association. And because one of the things with weight loss, and in the program that I was in, I lost 50 pounds, and part of that program is to get more exercise in, and one of the ways that I did it was to become part of this program.
My daughter works for the American Heart Association, and she asked me to do it with her last year, and it was so much fun that I asked my husband to do it with me this year. Also, my mother had a stroke 8 years ago, and I want to support the cause for more research. And then my father-in-law has had some heart surgery, and it was very experimental, and he benefited from research as well.